I am friends with all of my exes. How many do I have? I have like 3. One, we're 2. We're all friends, we're all buddies, we all hang out.
Welcome back to Heart and Soul, y'all. It's your girl, Katie. This is the show where we're going up close and personal with the cast of Attaway General Season 2. This week, we're discussing all things heartbreaks, from having a crush to breaking up with a friend to family fights. Sometimes a heartbreak can actually feel like a physical illness. Trust me, I've been there. Let's see what the cast has to say.
Okay, so I was dating this guy for 1.5 years. We broke up less than a month ago. We're still friends though. I don't let people break my heart. I'm like the one who does the heartbreaking.
I've got my heart broken a few times. I wouldn't really call it heartbreak if a friend like betrays your trust or something. That's just kind of them being a bad friend. I've never broken up with somebody. It's always been the heart brokey, I guess.
I haven't really been in a relationship, like a real relationship, so I haven't really had much experience in that sort, but I've definitely had a lot of friends that I thought were my like #1 friends, and then they kind of like flake on me one day, or like my important days that I want them there, they don't show up, and it hurts, but it's also like a sign that like maybe they're not the right person for you.
I haven't ever been in a romantic relationship, so no one's gotten to get me like that yet, period. But I definitely have had a lot of friendship heartbreaks. I think that's just going on life, and like especially growing up and in like this stage of like my age and like that 13-ish to like 18-year-old age. You meet a lot of people and you go through a lot of friends, and clearly those people weren't meant for me, and I've like accepted that and love them to pieces, but love them from afar.
I feel like friendships hurt more than, like a significant other, just because when dating, like at such a young age, you kind of expect it not to last forever, but like with friendships, you're like, oh dang, they really just walked out of my life like that. I've had multiple friend heartbreaks, and it sucks, but everything happens for a reason.
I've never really had my heart broken from a romantic type situation, but with a friendship, I definitely have. I had a friend for a very long time. Like, I grew up with her. My mom grew up with her mom, so like we kind of were like family right from the start. And sadly, our relationship didn't work out, so I kind of broke it off a couple years ago. I miss her, but it's honestly better for my mental stability and everything. So life goes on, you find new friends, you find better ones.
Yes, I've had my heart broken, and I say both in friendships and relationships. I mean, it's happened in both scenarios. I mean, it really sucks. I think friendships are way harder. There's like 2 specific people from my home that went to school with me, and I like still miss them to this day. And I texted them, I reached out to them, but I mean, in the moment it really sucks, but like I said, things happen for a reason, so you kind of just gotta let it be, and eventually things will play out and come back together or be the way this should be.
So heartache is something we see commonly, and it is something that does cause issues in kids' lives. We see a lot of lack of appetite, loss of desire to do the things that they usually enjoy doing, hanging out with their friends, playing games, things like that. And so it is something that we need to take serious, and it is something that we need to help kids with.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I like to take my time to heal. And then, I feel like it's not worth me wasting all my time ignoring them and like blocking all my exes, because I just think that's stupid and I don't want to lose the friendship that we had. So I'll become friends with them, and if we get back together, then you know what? It's meant to be. So I am friends with all of my exes.
You can be friends with an ex, but I don't think you can be friends with an ex if it was like love. I feel like once it gets to an emotional level where the heartbreak or breakup was super hard, you can't just be friends. I mean, me personally, I don't think I could do that.
I've definitely had friends that we grew up together, and I've lost track of them, and then we kind of are attracted to each other again. We connect easily again, so I think those people that you kind of grew up with are always going to be easy to reconnect with, no matter what path you guys go.
It definitely was like a physical emotion, also like a non-physical emotion. Oh my god, this is like my fault. I'm like, why did I do this and all that stuff? Like I was definitely blaming myself and everything. Even though it wasn't my fault I ended the relationship, a lot of scenarios went through my head. I was like, what if I just like did this right from the start? Like, would we still be friends and everything? But in the end, sometimes you just gotta cut people out of your life. Just go on and see what happens.
I am friends with some of my exes. Like one of them I went to school with. We're good, and like, you know, he'll like, if he sees something, he'll like text me or reach out. But yeah, it could happen. I think it also just depends on the relationship, you know. I feel like in relationships people cross some boundaries that just like should have never been crossed, and it just makes you lose respect for them, not as like, you know, like a significant other, but as like a friend too. Like it's really hard sometimes for people to see.
So I think it's important for parents during this time to really support their kids, really provide an open, loving environment for them to really kind of help get them back to where they were.
I think it's more of a mental thing. Like a lot of the times, like I'll be like, oh, like I'll see something, or like I'll do something, I'll be like, oh, this is something like they would have liked, or like, oh, this is something we did together, and you're like, wow, that's like sucks, like that's rough.
It's been mutual once, and then the other times it's always been like me getting broken up with, and I'm just like, the pain. It feels physical. Like when you're in heartbreak, it hurts. You just wake up and it's like hurt. You go to bed, hurt.
No, you can't die of a broken heart, but it sure will feel like it.
I don't know. It's like you just feel like you can't ever do anything normal. Like you don't want to eat, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to do anything that you normally enjoy doing. Like you can try and distract yourself, but the entire time you're distracting yourself, you're gonna be like, this sucks.
I think loyalty is my biggest thing. I love when someone's confident, because I'm very confident, so it's just like the best energy. I also like when you're straightforward and honest, because I'm very, very honest, sometimes too honest. And funny. Can't be talking to no wall.
People who are loyal, I think that's in friendships and, you know, relationships. Obviously relationships, it's obvious.
In a partner, I would want them to be my friend first. I think that's the most important, because a lot of kids my age start a relationship off of nothing. I feel like being one's friend first really helps in a relationship.
Girls that are just nice to everyone and not fake nice, like they genuinely want to see the best in people. Yeah, I think that's the one quality that I think is the most attractive, is just being nice.
Loyal, always there for me. If you're not approved by my family, then there's going to be a problem. You know, I've never had a boyfriend before, so I'm single and ready to mingle. And anyone out there, I'm here. Comment down below. I'll be taking submissions. Oh yeah, and then my parents have to meet you, so
I definitely look for honesty. I've realized that one's a lot more important as I've gotten older, is making sure people are honest and like genuine. I love people that can make me laugh. If you don't have a sense of humor, you've got to go. Oh, I love people that are very goal oriented and like ambitious and like have like that are very driven and that don't have just like lack of motivation, like that can do things that can like hype me up. If I'm feeling down, I can hype them up and they like want to go for something. I love that.
My advice to my character Nina, get back with Jamie. He's cute.
Like, why is my character so shady, Brat? Why'd you gotta make him like that? Stop being shady. Just be a normal guy. He's talking to more than one girl. He's like, and in the last series, like Rooney's last role, he held on to her photos for God knows what. Like, why would you do that? Like, he's so shady for no reason. I think he's just dumb.
Rosie makes some not so sensitive comments. She just doesn't have any bad intentions, but she just like speaks before she thinks. Advice to give her, I'd just say take in consideration other people's feelings and like how the way you might say things might make them feel, or to realize that everyone's gonna think differently and not everyone has to agree with you and have the same beliefs.
Sasha, my character that I play, she definitely pays attention to a boy, and the boy being Holden, who's played by Eric.
I think Holden needs to slow down. He has like 3 love interests on the show or something like that.
Actually, Holden and Sasha, because they've low-key been flirting this whole time we've been filming. Don't say I said anything, but they have, and I ship it. And they both haven't had their first kiss yet, so they're gonna kiss in the scenes, and then the sparks are just gonna fly, and me and Lauren are just gonna be like clapping in the background.
I think he needs to really find out what each person is about and like their personalities.
But I honestly think we have a connection right from the start in the show. Like literally the first day I walk in and I'm a complete mess. The first day throughout the whole season, there's always like a little, like a spark, even when we separate at one part in time, which you guys will see. It's definitely like an ongoing relationship, and I'm just so excited for everyone to see it and like hope everyone falls in love with us.
one door closes so another can open. So a lot of the times if, you know, one friend walks out, another friend will walk in, and most of the time it's better.
I think definitely time heals everything, and like coming to realization, you know, like that, to accept the fact like that had to happen.
As time goes on, the heartbreak just becomes less and less, and like one day you can just kind of flick it off your shoulder and be like, okay, I'm done with it. I'm glad it happened. I'm moving on with my life. I could like go and do other things now that I'm not focused on it.
Tips for coping for life after breakups. It's okay to sit in bed, eat ice cream and pizza for a day or two, but I think it's important to know too, you need to be surrounding yourself with your friends, with your family, people who can remind you of who you are, so that you can find yourself again and get back at it.
Next week on Heart and Soul, it's our final episode, and we're gonna talk about all things anxiety and mental health. That's right, grab your weighted blankets and get ready to do some deep breathing, because it's gonna get real. We'll see you guys then.